On my mind, gotta hustle and grind. Financial literacy always on my mind. I'm stacking knowledge, no time to waste. Gotta invest smart, gotta keep up the pace. I'm reading books, learning all the tricks, studying the market, making calculated picks.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy Reckless Rated Arrow, and we are back at it again for another Bag Talk episode. We're gonna jump right into it today. We're gonna have a little bit of fun. Trying something a little bit different. I had a little window of time today, so I'm trying to get in the habit of whenever the inspiration strikes to go ahead and put together a piece of content for you guys. Just given perspective, because like obviously we go through strategy, we go through a lot of heavily weighted stuff. But I do have like smaller gaps of time where I don't have time to go down the rabbit hole on something, or I'm just not in the mood to go down the rabbit hole, to be honest. Also time, because like generally speaking, if I start rabbit holing, we get off track. Next thing you know, the video's an hour. So what I wanted to do, I got a little bit of time today, so we're going to do something a little bit different. Before we get into it, I would like for you to do the 3 things that help this channel and myself personally. First and foremost, like the video on your way in. Secondly, hit that subscribe button along with the bell notification, so that way when these premieres happen, or as we move closer to 2026, when my live streams happen, that's right, people, I'm bringing back my live streaming, specifically on this channel. The old channel, I figure if I want to have those conversations, I'll go to other people's platforms. But for this channel, we're gonna probably start doing some of these live. We're gonna start trying to incorporate some lives into 2026. Haven't figured out what that's gonna look like. Really hoping we get to 500 subs before that happens. That's going to kind of be the little carrot that I'll dangle out there. I'll bring the lives back if we get back to 500 subs. Also, that'll be time for Q&A, live Q&A. You guys can come up and talk to me, that type of stuff. But go ahead and hit that bell notification when you're hitting the subscribe, so that way you will be notified when my stuff drops. I don't flood the feed, so you don't have to really worry about that from me specifically, because I don't live here and I don't have time for it, because like I said, I don't live here. But the last thing is share the video, get me out into the algorithm. Let's have the conversation. Okay, let's jump into it. We're gonna have some fun today. So what we're doing today is I'm gonna do some TikTok reactions, and let's see here, how do we want to do this? Yeah, let's do it. I think that's kind of fun. Maybe that's kind of fun. I don't want to be super big. Yeah, put me in the background. So we're going to go through 3 videos. These are live reacts. I listen to like 5 seconds of the video to like make sure it's a topic that I wanted to discuss. Also, emails and ways to communicate with me are down in the description. You guys can hit me up on Instagram, drop me a DM, shoot me an email. If there's stuff that you specifically would like me to react to, I do take requests. Now, if it's not finance, I will not do it on this channel. So it has to be, that's the one caveat. It has to be finance related. If it's something you actually want my actual opinion on that's not finance related, send it to me. If it's not finance, I will do it on the OG channel. For those of you who would send a request that's not financial, that know me from the old days, you already know what that channel is. And you guys are subscribed there already. So I will do them over there for you. And if you message me about doing a reaction and I do the reaction, I will give you a shout out in the video, because we always cite our sources and I appreciate them. And secondly, I'll message you back and let you know that I did it and send you the video that I did it with, because I do follow up. Anyway, so let's go ahead and jump into this and see what we're talking about today.
$1,000 is middle class.
Let me start that over. I'm going to start it over. Here we go.
Gen Z doesn't agree that $74,000 is middle class. No kidding. It's not even close. Check this out. If you take...
Oh, geez. I'm going to go ahead and pause these as I get through them, because actually, you know what? No. I'm going to start it over and let them go through, because I feel personally attacked right now. but we're gonna see what you got to say. Let's just get through it.
Gen Z doesn't agree that $74,000 is middle class. No kidding, it's not even close. Check this out. If you take $74,000 for a Gen Z, or let's say they have a bachelor's degree and they're 25 years old. First of all, $74,000 is much higher than the average income. Most Gen Zers are probably making anywhere from 40 to 50, maybe 60, but let's use 74. The take home after taxes, 401k, and health insurance is $4,300. The average college monthly payment on a loan is about $500. You're down to $3,800. Let's say this person is financially responsible, decides to split a 2-bedroom apartment in a medium-sized city like Orlando, so that their payment is $1,200 a piece, $200 for utilities, so $1,400. Now, unless they're going to have Lucky Charms and peanut butter and jelly, their groceries are going to cost about $600 if they're trying to get chicken, beef, and some healthy stuff. You have a $400 car payment, $200 in insurance, $150 for gas, $100 for a... The Ramsey Show. Gen Z doesn't agree that 74.
I suck so bad at this. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna just get to here.
And jelly, their groceries are gonna cost.
Okay, so I am gonna stop these about halfway through. We'll do this. We'll do it this way. I mean, technically speaking, I survive off less than that. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. It is wild to me that people are just like hurling themselves into debt. I mean, apparently most of you are living in your mom's basements anyway. Like, why are you paying like the rent situation? I can only think back from when I first moved out, and obviously some of these expenses I do not have. So like off the top, the student loans not there because I elected to not be in debt forever. Different decisions. These are decisions. Like, you should have known the ROI on the degree that you went for. Because if you've got the gall to tell me that I'm stupid for not having one, I'd say it's real stupid to go to college. Actually, I would say it's more stupid to go to college and rack up debt to go get a job that you can never pay the debt off for. And then even stupider is to complain about it and think that it's somebody else's responsibility to help you pay that debt back. Just saying, as a D student that did not get that piece of paper that apparently is worth more than you. I don't know. I don't know how we got here, but apparently they don't teach math, like not the important one. But let's keep going.
Cost about $600 if they're trying to get chicken, beef, and some healthy stuff. You have a $400 car payment, $200 insurance, $150 for gas, $100 for a cell phone, leaves you with $950. This is no savings, investment.
Okay, gonna stop it again. So I'm looking here at food. Geez. Do you guys not go to Aldi's? Do you guys not have Costco memberships? Like, Aldi's and Costco. Aldi's has good, clean food for, I mean, I feed myself for basically $100 a week. I don't know. I go to the gym darn near every day. $600 sounds great. Like, that does sound a little bit crazy for food. I mean, it's like $600 for food and vitamins. I would say I'm about a $600 for food and vitamins. What is everyone eating? Are you guys eating filet mignon like every night? Like, wow, that's crazy. Crazy amounts for food. Car payment, $400. As I now have a car payment again for the next 24 months, I'm under $400. Actually, I'd say all in, I'm probably around $400. But the thing is, with my car, it's already paid off. I went and took a personal loan, paid the car off, and am putting money into my brokerage that's actually paying that car note. So that actually doesn't even come out of my actual expense. So it's about how we do things. And this is coming from the premise of you're doing what they told you to do. And I understand people tell you to do this. My parents told me to go to college and go into debt for forever because at the time, no one else in my family had gone to college. And I was the first person who had an aspiring hope of being able to go to college. And unfortunately, I learned financial math first and realized that like none of the stuff that I wanted to do that I was going to need to do required a college degree. I was working in service industry. I worked with a bunch of people with college degrees that we did the same job. And since we did the same job, they're there for ages. I was in service industry for a decade. I got out of that job before some of those kids with college degrees got out of that job. So they're still doing it. Like, that's their career. They went to college to get a career in service industry. That's crazy. Debt for the rest of their life, but they get to tell people they're smart because they've got a degree from wherever the heck that nobody who has money really cares about, unless you went to wherever the heck with them. Like, that's the only, it's novelty. And car insurance, my car insurance is not $200, but that's because I'm a little bit older. I'm a millennial, geriatric millennial, technically speaking. So my car insurance isn't anywhere close to that. So like car payment total, actually I'm well under $400 actually. And it's only the car insurance actually comes out of my W-2. So there's also that. Gas being $150. Well, this new car that I got, I was averaging around $100 a month. So I was like, hey, I'm under for gas. And now it's doubled. That's the one thing about getting out of a slow hybrid into something a little bit faster and nicer. Premium gas is expensive. And that is one of those things you have to take into account. My original gas budget, though, was $200 a month. And this is actually within that realm for the driving that I do, which is cool. $100 for cell phone service. You guys, wow. Wow, you're paying $100 for cell phone. It's probably because you don't buy your phones. And I'm gonna throw that out there. Like, you're probably paying to finance to have a phone to make it look like you have money. Now, my phone, since I work part construction, most of the time is some form of broken. My current phone that I shoot on now, that poor phone, the back glass, I don't even take the case off it anymore because the back glass is just completely shattered on it. It's terrible. It's ghetto AF back there. Business up front, ghetto AF in the back. It's a phone mullet, but it's an iPhone. I like it. But I buy my phones, and it's normally an incentive structure. Like, I have to make so much more in my income portfolio. Right now, it's tied to my debt level. So the next tier down in my debt level, I can upgrade my phone. And then I'll have this phone as the phone that I'm currently shooting on now will be my studio phone. I'll probably fix and sell off or just dispose of or recycle, whatever, my phones that I currently have in here. And yeah, we'll just keep it moving. I try to keep myself down to 2 phones. Having more than 2 phones is excessive, but I normally keep one that I can use for a camera. And this one's a really good camera. We'll see what the other one looks like. If it's noticeably better, I might use that most of the time, but I'll be able to do some interesting stuff with video after that. But like my cell phone bill, I use Mint Mobile. Like, that's the other thing. You don't have to use like the branded mobile companies. I use Mint Mobile. I like T-Mobile cell service. I use Mint Mobile. It's $35 a month. Like, I don't. It's just wild to me that it's $35 a month and I pay for it yearly. So like I think it's like $300, whatever sale they're running towards the end of the year. Turn that on and do that, and then re-up my phone for the year. And then I don't worry about it till the next year. $100 a month for a cell phone is crazy work to me. Let's keep it moving.
No emergency fund. Let's give them at least $300 to go on a couple dates or to hang out with their friends for the month so they can enjoy life a little bit. They're left with only $650. A bachelor's degree, $74K salary. You are splitting a 2-bedroom apartment with a friend and only have $650 left a month. It would take you years to save up the $30,000 that you would need for a down payment on a house with the closing costs. But even if you could get that down payment saved, you would still need to make $120,000 a year to be considered for a $400,000 loan. The middle class, the goalpost has been moved from $70K to $120,000 in just the past 2 years.
Good Lord. That's saying a lot. I don't even, like, I can't relate because I think it's based on like where you choose to live. Because like where I live, I don't make that much. I'm not at 120 yet. And the interesting thing is, as we're going through and I'm like looking at my income, because we're talking about W-2 income. So me personally, I generate dual income. So I have my portfolio, which produces income. And that's a growing fluctuating number. It's kind of like having a sales job. And then I have my standard plain Jane salary. And then the whole premise of this channel, Future Financial Strategies, is how to maximize that. Now, I like looking at this and looking at the expenses that he listed off. I'm like, some of them kind of make sense. But these are all choices. Like, you're choosing to not live at home, most likely. You're choosing to have a $400 car payment. Like, that's also a choice. Like, you don't have to have. I mean, and $400 is actually low because this is a little bit of an old video. You guys are paying over $1,000 for car payments now. A lot of this stuff is looking good for other people. Like $600 on groceries. Like, most of you eat out every day. You're eating out every day. The reason you're spending $600 on food, it's not groceries. It's that you go eat every meal. And I know because I am notoriously bad at that if given the opportunity. I'm a big go out and eater. That's kind of my jam because I'm lazy. And I normally wait until I'm starving and then I don't have time to cook anything. So, and you know, even when I take my lunch to work, like, I'm an avid go grab a snack, grab a bite from the gas station person. And that's not even inexpensive anymore. It's like a $10+ experience every time you go in there, no matter what you get. Somehow it's over $10. You do that every day. It's $50, so $50 a week. $60 a week, $70 a week if you're actually out here grinding, you know, getting that overtime. But like, now you're at $70 a week. Times that by 4, it adds up. So I'm an avid. I fix my own coffee. I'm not a Starbucks person. I really don't like it anyways. It's just flooding your body with sugar. It's not good for you. So that's the other reason that was something easy for me to cut out. I got something that's way more beneficial, helps me be in better shape. Pack my lunch. And I just increased my lunch pack because I want to buy stuff from the gas station less. Like, I want to be in control of that time that I'm at work because that helps me build muscle, helps me stay in shape, helps me with my recovery, helps me make sure I'm getting the nutrients that I need into my body. It's just wild to me, some of the things that we do that are self-inflicted, and the most grievous self-inflicted wound on there, because I'm not going to tell you to nitpick your stuff, but like, if you're planning on going to college, make sure you're going to make your money back. Make sure you're graduating to a job. That's actually kind of important now, that there's going to be a job there. Like, otherwise, just go learn a trade and go get bank. Like, you at least have a skill. We're going to trade for 5 years. You have your own business. Like, you're never going to have to worry about having a job. There aren't a lot of people in trades that are good and legal. We'll put it that way. A lot of decision making. Let's go ahead and jump into the next one. I want to give a shout out to his account is FM Smith 319. He's over on TikTok. If you guys want to tap in with him, he's always screaming, ranting, and raving. He's got the sauce. Nothing's good enough. It's all doom and gloom. It's never manage your money better. It's somebody else's fault. And it honestly is, but it's your responsibility and you got to survive. So like, you either get to be homeless or you figure it out. Like, these are the two options that we have. So over here in the Wolfpack, we're on team figure it out. Let's go with that. So let's see what we got here for this next one. This is coming from Chris Cobb _chosen. Now I'm going to put all the links down in the description in the reference section.
Everyone says they're middle class, but
let's go.
Everyone says they're middle class, but let's look at the actual data to see if it's true or not. I'm using the 2023 U.S. Census household income data, and yes, you can check by net worth, but household income is the quickest gut check. Starting off at lower class, this is someone who's making less than $35,000 a year, which is about 20% of households in the USA. Next is lower middle class, and this is anyone making $35,000 to $59,000 a year, and this is roughly around 19% of the households in the US. Next is the middle class. Let's see who actually falls in this. So anyone who makes $60,000 between $99,000 a year, that's considered middle class. So
Yay, I'm in the middle class. Go me. Woo, woo, according to 2023 numbers. Now, 2025 numbers, by the time they got to the end of 2024, them numbers done shifted up because of inflation. So I'm probably lower middle class now, to be honest. If we're just going on W-2, I'm a dust bucket. But somehow, I'm worth more than most of y'all. It's crazy. Let's keep it rolling.
28% of households technically are the only ones that fall within middle class. Next is the upper middle class, and these are families who have 100,000 to 150,000, which makes up about 17% of US households. And last is the
I just want to add one more thing in here that I find interesting, because technically, if we're just counting W-2 salary, and this is the reason I say that salary is a dumb, dead conversation, and the people and the cultures that are just now getting to that point are in for the rudest of rude awakenings, because salary is what you talk about, like, if you're trying to be the best slave, like, in my opinion. Elon Musk makes salary, he's lower middle class. He makes $50,000 a year. Keep that in mind. I'm just saying, keep that in mind, that like Elon Musk, who we all know is a billionaire, probably going to be the first trillionaire. If we were just talking W-2, he makes $50,000 a year, which would put him in 2023 in the lower middle class, which is actually getting close to just lower class of the upper class. Just saying, if you're just going off W-2, that's the reason I say your W-2, your salary, what you get paid, who cares? It's what you're worth, what you're making passively. Like, I understand everybody tries to downplay net worth, but that's because a lot of those people are late to the game. And by the time they get to net worth, we're going to be on to something else. Like this, it won't even matter. This won't be a conversation anymore. But let's keep it rolling.
Upper class, which makes 150,000 plus household. And this is about 16% of households in the US. So if you add up those middle tiers, roughly about 60% of Americans live at or above middle class on paper. But with rent and groceries and debt, there's still a lot of people who feel like they're barely making. And that's why I make videos like this, to make the wealth building journey easier. So if you like this content, hit the follow button, stay tuned.
Boom. Shout out to Chris Cobb _chosen over on TikTok. And then we're going to round this out with the last one. It's somebody that I don't agree with most of the time because he gave horrible advice, hates Bitcoin, typical boomer, work harder, save up all the cash forever, and never buy that house that you wanted, because if you're saving up in cash, it's consistently running away from you. And don't have debt and don't use any of the tools available. You peasant, you go work like the hard slave that you were meant to be and contribute to that system until your back breaks and you're old. And right before you expire, which who knows when that's going to be, right before that, you can buy that coveted house and go sit on that porch for 2 weeks. And then you're up out of here and BlackRock comes and buys your house because you didn't even get to enjoy it. So let's go ahead and hear from old Dave Ramsey. See what he's got to say.
If you do these 5 things, you will win with money 100% of the time. Now, I don't know exactly how long it will take you, and I don't know what win with money will mean, because...
See, he gives a caveat to cover himself, because how long it's going to take you if you're just dealing in cash and following the Ramsey plan and you just stay at that level indefinitely and you never branch out and learn some of the, I'd say, more big brain tactics, more expedient, more financially efficient, more efficacious maneuvers that we over here at the Wolfpack are looking at, that I'm showing you, that I'm testing with my finances as we see me moving forward from month to month, year to year, seeing the increase in, when it's time to change or update anything, like I get stuff that I want. So, it's not necessarily that I'm sitting around eating bowls of ramen. No, I do eat like a weirdo sometimes, but that's because I work out, probably health reasons. But it's not ramen. It's not like I'm sitting eating noodles, making bean sandwiches. It's just, he doesn't know how long it's going to take, because it's going to take you forever. basically. Like you're gonna be looking like him, old, boomer-esque, telling everybody else behind you to go be the slave that you were, because it's going to take forever because it's slow. And it's not just that it's slow, it's slow in the sense that you're never catching up. Like at this juncture with where we're at financially right now in 2025, the financial hellscape we're sitting in, you're literally treading water 6 inches beneath the surface to tread 6 inches beneath the surface. But let's keep it going.
I cannot predict your income, and I cannot predict the tragedy that you will have to overcome. But subject to your income to tragedy ratio, to the extent you do these 5 things, you will win with money. You will become wealthy in North America if you will do these 5 things over and over again. Number 1, you need to have a written plan, a budget.
I agree with the written plan. I'm terrible at budgeting, and I don't know that budgeting is, I would say that it works for most people. The way that my brain's built, like that is literal rat poison to me. So I prefer to just create additional income and work out of that. But the written plan, 100%, I do have the moves that I'm making, the experiments that I'm running, my financial assessment every month, all written down, all kept, all in places where I can easily look at it to reference it. Like when it comes time to pay off my bills, as my bills come in, even though they're not budgeted, they are checked off. And I'm going through and I'm like, hey, this is the bill. This is the credit card that we're focused on when we're doing the debt pay downs. Okay, we're handling the minimum payments on X, Y, and Z. And as soon as those minimum payments come in, I'm like, hey, do we have the money to kick over here for that? Because those are getting handled out of the income portfolio now. There is a plan in place. It's just not necessarily a budget yet. And as I evolve, we're getting closer to it. We are getting closer to it because we're working within an income band with the income portfolio. And it's not a consistent income band. Let's keep it going.
Jesus said, don't build a tower without first counting the cost, lest you get halfway up and you're unable to finish, and all who see you begin to mock you and say, this man began to build. No one began to build and was unable to finish. No one accidentally wins at anything.
This is a fact. There are no accidents. Like none of the moves that I'm making are oopses. We're planning this out for about 12 months to 5 years. The 12 to 5 year plan evolved into a 10-year plan. This is 2 decades down the line. Like now we're planning down there. We're constantly extending that viewpoint. And so the moves you make start to make less sense to people who are trying to get rich next Tuesday. Becomes the people that are scrambling to next Tuesday think that you're crazy. And it's just like, well, no, you're just not looking past this day. Nothing's done on accident. Even failures aren't really done on accident either. Like if you look back, money's a single player game. You had to have messed up somewhere. Let's keep it rolling.
And you're not the exception. I don't like Dave Ramsey's advice. I don't give a crap. You're wrong.
I wasn't wrong about Bitcoin, Dave. I wasn't wrong about Bitcoin. You were wrong about Bitcoin. And stop yelling. You're old. Your blood pressure.
You have to do a written game plan with money or you're going to lose.
I do agree with him on that. It's 100% right. 100% right. Planners win.
Second thing is you got to get out of debt. Your most powerful wealth building tool is your income. And when you spend your whole freaking life giving your money to banks who fill up the skyline and have furniture nicer than yours, that makes you stupid. Get out of debt.
Consumer debt. I'm going to add that caveat. I believe in leveraging tastefully. I believe in income expansion. I understand the Dave Ramsey plan. He's talking to a general populace that is not intelligent enough to manage debt of any sort. So they probably do need to be debt free. It's just going to take longer. The person who's doing this plan through inflation, inflation is going to be your biggest enemy. And for me, inflation is not an enemy at this point. So, stuff's going to get more expensive for you every year. Stuff's going to get less expensive for me every year. Dave Ramsey hates Bitcoin. Stuff gets less expensive every 4 years, every year, every 10 years. And Bitcoin, orders of magnitude less expensive. The math is in on that. But I digress. I do agree with him. If you're in heavy consumer debt, get out of it. It's terrible. Me being in a grip of consumer debt that we're working on getting our way out of right now. Not fun. So understandable stance. And I do agree. If you're with the caveat of specifically consumer debt, get out of it.
When you don't have any payments, you know what you've got? Money. Do I care if you get out of debt? Yes, I want you to win. I want you to have a great life. But do I care if you agree with me? No. I don't care if you agree with me. If you don't agree with me about this money stuff, you're what's known as wrong.
And see, this is one of those things where it's like there's math is actually the arbiter of this, not Dave Ramsey, not, oh, if you don't like my opinion, like it's not that I don't like your opinion, it's just mathematically it's not as efficacious. It's not as effective. That's just true. And when you get to the point to where they can only hope that what you're doing just doesn't work so that they can be vindicated, that's how you know it's kind of, But, the gurus, that's the reason I tell people I'm not a guru. Do your own research. Like, I'm not a guru. I believe in math. I look at the math of things, and that's basically it. I don't care how much he says everything is wrong. Like, it doesn't matter to me. I'm looking at the math. Now, when it comes to consumer debt, it's an anchor. It is an anchor. It is something that you have to deal with. Can you grow your way out of it in this economic environment? Our country's doing it right now. Can't pay off the debt. What do? Keep expanding. You can expand your wealth. I mean, the dollar's burning up anyway. So if you're into assets and you're going to pay it later and you're using debt for that, yes, use cheap dollars to buy assets now and then pay those dollars back with cheaper dollars later. Genius play. Mathematically makes sense. You're running laps around the guy who's doing it with cash because he's in those dollars that are burning up. That's his existence. They are in a burning building. But let's keep it rolling. Since everyone else is wrong, I'm probably wrong, but you might want to do the math on that.
I've been doing this longer than most of my critics. They were peeing in their diaper while I was doing this stuff.
This is a fact. I was peeing in my diaper while he was doing this stuff. You know what else was happening while I was peeing in that diaper? Dollars were worth more. So if you buy everything up first, and then you just have everything and you can run around with a boatload of cash because you had cash when it was worth stuff. And then you bought houses when houses were cheap and now the houses are expensive. And now you have the law of large numbers working for you. 100%. You can sit there in your olden golden age and be like, you young whippersnappers just don't know what you're talking about. But the reality of it is he's not living in this environment that we're living in right now. He lives in a completely different world. Completely different. He's not in my world. I mean, hell, I'm barely in your world at this point. I'm trying to get out. I don't want to be in your world. I don't want to be in that world where you're just like a slave to dollars all day. I want to be in that world. He's not in that world. But the world that he was in, it was easier financially because we weren't in free fall inflation and government involvement. It wasn't as bad when I was peeing in my diapers. It wasn't as bad when I got my first job. It wasn't as bad when I was 18. It wasn't as bad as when I was 20 as it is now. It wasn't as bad as when I was 25, and it wasn't as bad as when I was 30. Literally, there is two different worlds. There's pre-2019, pre-COVID lockdown, and then there's now. So when I say that these guys sitting at the mountaintop like Dave Ramsey here, while I can agree with him on multiple points, this righteous indignation that he's showing right now is the exact reason that, we're voting in a bunch of policies that he, myself included, don't necessarily like. Of course, people are going to vote for socialism if you took all the chips off the board, put them in your pocket, and then said, hey, get some more chips. Like, you just got to work harder to death. No one's doing that. No one wants to sign up for that. It's garbage. And it's so I'm a guru and I've got a platform and I've got something to sell you of an attitude and mindset to sit there and be a boomer who voted in all the stuff so that no one could come behind you. You pulled the ladder up as much as you could behind you. Like, I barely made it through this. And I'm still having to work at this. Like, this is a constant, got to keep up with the time. We're going to have to move and shift and do all this other stuff. You've made it so that we have to gamble in the stock market. And then you sit there and you're just like, oh, everyone else is wrong. And I'm old, so I know what I'm talking about. That's because you have a platform and you have something to sell, sir. And you're not doing math, obviously. Obviously, I've done a breakdown on this. If you were planning this year to start saving up for a $200,000 house and you save in cash because Dave Ramsey wants you to buy everything in cash because you can't have any debt because debt's bad, all of it. The house that you picked out, you're never able to buy because you can't catch up because the price of the house is going to go up because of inflation. The math doesn't check out. And now these boomers are old and trying to stay relevant and just wrong. They're wrong. Because they don't live in this world. Except for the ones that failed. The ones that did what they were supposed to, and now the market goes down and they got to go put the fries in the bag or go say hi to you at Walmart when you walk in. They understand. But Ramsey, he doesn't understand. He's been selling you stuff since I was peeing in my pants. So, of course, he thinks that you can just go do what he did. And the really insidious part is all wealthy people know you can't do what they did. One of my mentors, when I asked him what I needed to do, he's like, you can't do what my family did to get wealthy. That was the first thing he told me. He's like, you got to figure it out your way. But here are some progressive moves and some things that I would have done different if I was where you are now. You can't go do what they did. The money is not the same as when Dave Ramsey is talking about me peeing in my pants. And I did pee in my pants quite a bit. Probably because baby me knew what I was getting ready to happen. But let's go.
They're wrong. Live on less than you make. Number 3. In the house of the wise are stores of choice food and oil, but a foolish man devours all that he has.
This 100% agree with. You don't have, if you're spending every dollar that comes in, how do you have money to get into the market to get working for you? 100% correct. No qualms.
If you spend everything you make, you're a fool. Well, Dave, you don't know about my situation. In America today, wages are stagnant. So why are they stagnant at your house? You know what?
You know, that's actually, you know what, Dave? That's a good one. Why are they 100%? I agree with them. I agree with that. Wages are stagnant, but do they have to be at your house? Like when they talk about the previous one, the first TikTok we looked at, 74,000 isn't enough. It is in my house. I mean, granted, we're making over that, but a good portion of it is me going and hunting. Like, I know what needs to be done. I'm not asking someone else to give me money. Why are wages stagnant at your house?
Wages are stagnant on people who are stagnant. You're only got stagnant wages if you decide to stay there and keep getting those wages. This is not Russia. You can quit. I don't like how much Walmart pays. I don't like how much McDonald's pays. So don't work there, stupid.
You know what? I ain't even mad at him for this one. I agree. Or if you have to work there, why aren't you filling out 20 applications a day in your time off? If it's that bad, get another job. Why are we doing bottom of the barrel jobs? and then wondering why we're getting bottom of the barrel results. Like, the job isn't the problem. You doing the job is the problem. Why do we have grown adults that are making careers out of jobs that were meant for teenagers? Like, I could understand in a temporary sense, like you're passing through, but it's been a decade. You still doing the same thing you was doing. Why are we here? Why are we here? Why are you not getting the results that you want when you're doing exactly what you were doing a decade ago? You're in the same spot. You're stagnant. Wages aren't stagnant.
Go to work for somebody else. I don't like how my company treats me, so leave. Go be somebody. There's no reason that you have to be stuck somewhere because some liberal journalist said you were stuck. You're not stuck. You're stagnant. Don't be stagnant. You know what stagnant pond water does? It grows scum on top. You don't want to be stagnant. You get scummy. You need to go be somebody. You need to leave the cave, kill something, and drag it home.
That part right there. That part, I just said that. That part right there, you need to go hunt. If you're going to be there, you're going to have to go hunt for yourself while you're there until you figure it out. And then if you get good at hunting enough, eventually you just don't have to be there. That's what the trajectory for me is, at least. If I'm forced to go hunt for my raises, I'm not going to be here after I don't need to be here anymore. If the wages are stagnant, okay, there's just not enough money around, cool. I like what I'm doing, and I'll continue doing it until it just doesn't mathematically make sense. And then I'll just go do something else. But the bottom line is, I had to go make those moves to increase my salary so that, future Ray was going to be able to trade his car in and just go get a car. Was going to be able to start lining out a trajectory for projects and stuff that I'm doing around my property. When I don't make the stunner W-2, I go to work and slave wage income, I'm doing it out of my portfolio. I'm hunting now.
You need to decide that my life is not good enough the way it is. And so I am going to control the controllables. I am going to change some things.
I love this. I love the personal accountability, the ownership. It's not anybody else's problem. And the natural consequence of these companies that believe that they can just consistently underpay people or figure out ways to treat you bad, or they feel like they've created this little fiefdom where they can talk crazy to people because when they were working, somebody talked crazy to them and they thought that that was just how you deal with people that you view as under you, even though you need them to sustain your lifestyle. The natural consequence for that is you get stagnant people. You get scum. Those are the employees they should have. And if that doesn't apply to you, you should be figuring out how to not be there because they don't deserve quality labor. That doesn't mean that you work less hard. That doesn't mean that you become scum. That means that you work at your capacity. You give your 120% every single day and then on your downtime, you're out there hunting. And as soon as you don't have to be there, you leave. You let them suffer the consequences of the way that they choose to run their businesses. And the funny thing about it is if everybody got on board and took personal ownership and accountability and started doing that, a bunch of these businesses would fail. Because A, they're going to have the worst employees. Because that's all that's going to be left. And B, they won't have any growth because all the innovators and all the intelligent people will be somewhere else. Like, we could all go hang out together and build our own businesses at that point because we're getting our money out of the market. We're getting our money out of these side hustles.
Because guess what?
We're getting our money out of these side hustles, and some of you are going to build.
I control the control.
Oh, and some of you are going to build businesses, and that's going to be your side hustle. You're not everybody's going to do what I'm doing and get it out of the market. So there's going to be other places where hopefully they don't recreate that same toxic garbage environment where people don't want to be there and don't want to work for you. And then there'll be places to go, and those businesses will flourish and be awesome. And that's going to be the new guard. And it's be like, hey, like if you make a business and you're a scumbag, you're just going to end up with a bunch of scumbags there, and it's probably going to fail, and nobody's going to want to hire those people. So you guys are either just going to do business at a scumbag standard, and that's just it, and you'll eke along, and like maybe you'll make enough money for whoever set that business up to live the way that they want. Everybody else is going to be miserable, but that's not our problem, because we're going to be over at the happy land business where everyone's happy. It's a good environment. Like, yeah, you got to work, and some days aren't the best days, but at least the team's awesome, and you enjoy the people you're around, and it's a bunch of good people, and you're all moving forward in life, and it's great environment and a great culture. And those businesses will flourish. But you continuing to exist at a place that you're continuing to complain about, and I'm all about complaining on the way out the door. Don't get me wrong. I do a bunch of stuff that I don't like and complain about it, but I figure it out. But I'm complaining while I'm working. If you're just complaining, or you're just stagnating there, just grumbling to yourself in the back of your mind, like, oh, these so-and-sos don't, oh, these, and it's like, no. Remove that. What are you doing? What are you doing to alleviate the situation you don't like?
I am going to change some things. Because guess what? Nobody in Washington is going to fix your life. Santa Claus doesn't live there, baby. Have you noticed that the Democrats and the Republicans, neither one could freaking add?
Oh my God, Dave, nobody has hit the nail on the head harder. Nobody has hit the nail on the head harder. No one up there can add. None of them. They doing math like you're doing math. Like their budget's messed up just like your budget's messed up. Like your bank account on negative, so's theirs. The only difference is they can print money and you can't, because it's illegal if you do it. No one's coming to save you. And the people who claim to be coming to save you are probably going to put you in a worse state than you're currently in. Actually, they're going to make it worse for everybody. No one's coming to save you. You are the linchpin in your life. That doesn't mean that the situations that you're facing are necessarily your fault, because when it comes to national fiscal policy and the outsourcing of jobs, the gutting of the middle class, none of us specifically have a say in that, because that was pre-us, most of us. Those of you who are younger, especially you. You just started voting. You had no say whatsoever. You're just here. You just starting to work. You just here. Like, but you still have to navigate it. So while it's not your fault, it's your responsibility to make sure that you're not homeless. And, over here, Future Financial Strategies, there's multiple channels that are giving out information, stuff that you can try, documenting our processes, giving you looks at our portfolios, looks behind the scenes, letting you know what we're looking at, what we're dealing with, what we're seeing, boots on the ground, still going to work every day. There's places that you can go to get answers, get ideas. Just a matter of implementing them and making those decisions, but only you can make the decision. I can't live anybody else's life but my own. I can't run anyone else's race but my own. Some of your races are similar. We're all people. We all live in America. For those of you who are outside of America, we all live wherever you live. People live wherever you live. Obviously, everywhere that people live, there's somebody who has more stuff than somebody else. There's doing something different. Unless you live in the Congo, where you just got to go pick up a machete and get yourself a firearm and start taking stuff from people and recruiting people to be on your team. This is a financial game. So it is what it is. Individual choice.
Have you ever had any of them send you money? No. They are not going to fix your freaking life. You are going to fix your life. You're going to get on a plan. You're going to get out of debt. You're going to live on less than you make. And then you're going to save some money. You know how rich people get rich? They save money. Wow. I don't know if I agree with Dave Ramsey's investment assumptions. I don't give a crap if you agree with my investment assumptions. You know what my investment assumption is? My assumption is you're going to be broke until you save money. That's my assumption. You need to get up off your assumption and go do something.
That's a good one too. I mean, it's the truth though. I mean, like I said, I'm not big on saving money, but I put all my money into the market. That's the way we do things over here. My savings rate is generally over 40%. Was last month was what, 155% because we had this loan money flowing in. Going to be over probably around 100% this month as well, because we've got dollar cost average money coming in. We just out here doing stuff. We just keep it moving. We keep that money working. As soon as my money comes in, it becomes that is the second income. I basically have a girlfriend that doesn't make a whole lot of money right now. That's my brokerage account. I just keep feeding her, sending her back to work. I'll give her some more employees. As many employees as I can get in there. And then she's going to help me pay some of these bills off. And we're going to put our money together. We're going to combine them. We're going to become a union. So that way, if I do get with somebody ever in a living stance, which highly doubtful, but like if I did and they were helping pay some of these bills around here, like now there's 3 incomes in the household because I'm 2, and then you're adding in another 1 person. So that's a 3 income household now. And, you know, if I wasn't with somebody like that, she getting set up the same way I am. So we're actually going to, after a bit of time, going to have 4 incomes because she's going to have 2 incomes. She ain't going to need me for nothing. She's going to be set up exactly how I'm set up because I ain't trying to drag nobody nowhere. I'm like, hey, if you don't want to go on the trip, don't. But like, if you're going to be here, you're not leaving saying, oh, you was financially trapped. Like, no, you got exactly what I got. I started first. Yeah, I got a little bit more. Like, you got to do what you got to do with your finances. Like, that's your problem. You came in here with your problems. But that's how you got to do things. Like, it's about redirecting that money from going to everyone else and setting up your own financial ecosystem under your roof. That's the reason wages aren't stagnant in my house specifically. They fluctuate, but they ain't stagnant.
You need to get up off your assumption and start investing some money. 100% of the people that don't save money don't have any. Wow, how's that for insight? Doesn't take a freaking rocket scientist to figure this out. You know what the problem on your investments are? The problem with your investments is not your rate of return. It's not your expense ratio. It's not no load versus load. It's not your nerdy, twisted up, toxic butt opinion about some investment. Your problem with your investments is you don't have any. That's the problem with your investments. 100% of the people that build wealth save money on purpose a lot. Some people do it poorly in a stupid money market account and make no money on their money. Others do it wisely in mutual funds that outperform the S&P, or real estate that they pay cash for that outperforms the S&P. Others are just passive and do the S&P. And they all write books about it and all have a freaking opinion and make money off of you while you're stagnant. That's stupid. Don't be stagnant. Invest money, save money. You know how you're going to do that? You're going to be on a plan. You're going to get up out of debt. You're going to live on less than you make. And voila, there is money in the budget. It's called margin, baby. And now you got the money to be rich. You got to act like rich people. And that's not go spend a bunch of money, moron, because rich people don't go spend a bunch of money. I'm going to go buy a Ferrari. I'm acting like rich people. No, you're acting like a moron.
This is true. This is true. I did not get the be-all, end-all car. I went up 1 rung of car. Actually, it's kind of it's up because it's faster. So like I had a Lexus CT 200H, put almost 200,000 miles on. I got to 180. It's the first vehicle I've had that I didn't make it to 200,000. And, you know, it's partially, I'm just going to take ownership of it. I know that Lexuses run forever. I see them for sale all the time with hundreds of thousands of miles on them. But that one specifically that I had did not make it. And we had to do some major repairs. It's also the first vehicle that I blew a head gasket on. I digress. But 180,000 miles is a long time. That's a good stretch. I don't really trade cars in. So fast forward, I'm looking at, you know, I'm going to be able to buy a car that's in the echelon of cars that I want for myself, and it's not to impress other people. I like fast cars, and I have not had a fast car for a long time. And after driving that Lexus, it started bothering me. Because that was probably the slowest car I've ever owned. Ever. Very practical, very great gas mileage. And we drove it until basically all the repairs that we had on it. We bought the car again, and I wasn't going to spend another of that car on that car. So what ended up happening, we were looking for a car to drive for 2 years, which is why I have the loan that I have now. It's for 2 years, personal loan. Part of it is going towards projects around the house. Part of it went towards income. The other part of it was used to purchase the BMW that I purchased now. And I know people are gonna be like, BMWs aren't reliable. They are if you do the preventative maintenance and actually take care of it, which I'm perfectly fine doing at this point. But the other thing is it's got more space. It's I got the X1. I drove the X3 and the X5. Both of them coming from that Lexus, which was tiny, was a little bit too much space for me at that juncture. So I got the X1. Also, the X1 will be faster than both of those other vehicles. So I like the platform because I didn't want a car. I wanted something a little higher up off the road, and I wanted something all-wheel drive. So I got all those things. One of the other things that I wanted that I didn't get was air-conditioned seats. I did not get air-conditioned seats. I'm kind of a little type of way about it, but everything about this purchase is better than my Lexus. Like literally everything. The radio's better. The freaking driving gets better. The speed, oh my God, so much better. It's moddable because like I was looking at getting a Porsche, and that seemed like too much of a financial investment for me at the time for getting the car that I was going to drive for 2 years. So I was like, well, I should probably like get something a little bit slower than the car that I want, because I don't want to end up getting myself in trouble and wrapping it around a tree or wrecking it or something. And I think I got the perfect amount, because like this is enough to get myself in trouble for sure. And I love it. But as I'm moving up there in things, it's like, okay, well, oh, that's lifestyle creep. Like, well, it's A, it's paid off, B, it's not brand new, and C, I can afford it. So for me, I'm not having any problems or seeing any qualms with anything with that purchase. Like I rationalized it was going to be more expensive, but again, like even I was going to spend more because like I looked at getting the Lexus UX 250, and when I saw how slow that was, it was a little bit faster than the CT 200, but it's a slow vehicle. Like if somebody doesn't want to let you over, they don't have to let you over, and you can't get around them. And I don't like that. And it was going to be more expensive. So like the BMW that I found had under 50,000 miles on it. So honestly, after the 2-year loans paid up, I could technically keep that and then like buy something else at that juncture and recycle that personal loan and do the whole process over again. If I wanted to. But I think I'm going to end up keeping this for a lot longer than the 2 years, because it had under 50,000 miles on it. So I'm like, if I'm going to drive it to 200, like I could do that too. And then like continue to save money and do that and just have fun with the vehicle that I've got, and like maybe get something small to drive to and from work. Options. We like to have those, but it's not about necessarily going and flexing for everybody else. I mean, I do like this new vehicle. Obviously, the way that I'm perceived in the BMW versus the way that I'm perceived in that little bitty Lexus CT 200, it's different. But that was like a byproduct, because like when I went and bought it, I was like, hey, like this is going to be nice. It's got more space. All that stuff, all-wheel drive. I'm good during the winter. This is the first winter that I'm not worried about the snow. Like the CT got stuck It was the first car that I've ever had that got stuck too. It was the slowest, and it was the first car that got stuck. But it did its job. It had good gas mileage, a decent radio system, and the thing that sucks is the CT200 had the best radio system I'd had personally ever. That was the best radio. I love that radio. It had like a little hidden sub in there. And then I got this BMW, and it's like that radio system sucked. And then that's the end of the conversation. The radio system sucked. And the BMW's radio is just amazing. And I can't say enough nice stuff about it. I'm gonna be doing some content on it. And yeah, we're gonna keep it rolling. Let's keep it rolling.
It's not, Ferraris aren't rich people. That's the ultra rich. You don't buy a Ferrari if you're a millionaire. That's crazy, you people. I'm going to act rich. I'm going to rip people off. That's just a liberal nonsense. Rich people don't rip people off. They didn't get rich by ripping people off. That's just stupid. Don't be stupid. It makes you look bad. Don't do that. And if you'll get out of debt and you'll invest and you live on less than you make and you have a plan, then you can do the last one. It's the most fun you'll ever have with money. You can be outrageously generous.
For all the hate that I give Dave Ramsey, we do agree on a lot of stuff. I'm petty. You talk bad about Bitcoin, you talk bad about my baby Bitcoin, I don't like you. Because it's just stupid. It's like, how long are you going to be wrong? 15 years, 20 years, 25 years, 30 years, just hoping that it doesn't work. Like that's kind of where I draw the line with people. And I understand why these old dinosaur archaic financial gurus don't like Bitcoin, because it renders them useless. Because you know what else you could do? You could just save in Bitcoin. Then you're just rich, dude. Like, you get all these options. Like, I'm not getting a second property because I'll be able to just stack Bitcoin, and then I can leverage the Bitcoin, and then I can use that to increase my income and stack more Bitcoin. There's kind of no reason to do anything else, in my opinion, to be honest. Like, the further I get down this road, the less I see the point in anything besides generating income and buying Bitcoin. Those are the only two things I really need to do. I don't think I need to do anything else right now. Sure, there's going to be other stuff, other distractions, other investments that'll be over here, over there, over wander everywhere. And you can look at that and be like, yeah, man, gosh, if I had just done this, and cool. But I'm really getting to a point now to where I think that all I need to do is income and Bitcoin. And I don't think I need to do anything else. That's kind of where I'm at. That's kind of how I'm feeling about it. And we had all these grand plans for all this other stuff, and I'm like, dude, like I just need to get enough Bitcoin to start leveraging the Bitcoin, and then like I can just continue to do what I'm doing, and then just do those two things and live a good life and be like, hey, I'm just doing this. Like, this is great. Like, life is good. And I think we might be simplifying down to some life is good trajectory, because why not? Like, especially once we start getting these portfolios some large numbers, like once I get the income portfolio to 6 figures, and once I get this debt, actually, honestly, it's just like Dave Ramsey said, I can't even argue with him on that. Once the debt's paid off, because like he said, especially with the play that I'm doing, then it unleashes all of the income. Once the debt is gone, all that's left is income. And you just go, cool, income, and just do that. And that's all you have to worry about. So, as we move further on down this road, I'm going to start doing more videos like this. Obviously, this one was an hour, but yeah, I kind of like doing these. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Those are the 3 asks that I have for you to help support me in the channel. And until next week, this has been another great episode of Bag Talk. Your boy, Reckless Ray De Niro, and I'm out. Peace.
Money on my mind, yeah. Focus, got no time for games, nah. I don't play, man, I'm all about that financial literacy. Investing in my future, building generational wealth. Dollar bills, they be calling my name, but I ain't chasing fame, I'm chasing change. Learn the game, now I'm playing it smart. Putting my money to work, it's an art. I'm stacking paper, building my own empire. No more living check to check, I'm getting higher. Investing in stocks, real estate, and more. Gotta secure the bag, that's what I came for.